Afghanistan has produced their second stunning win of the ICC Men's Cricket World Cup 2023 to beat Pakistan for the first time ever in a men's one-day international. Afghanistan won by 8 wickets in Chennai. It's Afghanistan's second big win in this World Cup as they beat the defending champions England by 89 runs a few days back. Both openers, Rahmatullah Gurbaz and Ibrahim Zadran, scored half centuries to lead their team to a historic win. There are several Indian connections to Afghanistan cricket and the Afghanistan cricket team and to the people of Afghanistan. It's a country that has many admirers both in Afghanistan, in India and vice versa. One of those very closely associated with Afghanistan cricket is none other than former India star Lalchand Rajput. He was one of the first coaches that the Afghanistan team had. He coached them for a year between 2016 and 2017. Thanks, Lalchand sir, very much for being with us. Great to see you on the program. So when you started in 2016 or so, did you ever believe that there would be a stage when Afghanistan does so well in a World Cup match?
Thank you very much, Vishnu, for getting me here. I think the reason why when we started, people were laughing at me, to be very honest, because they were saying Afghanistan ko coaching kar raha hai, log cricket khelte hain, because nobody knew it. And it was BCCI who gave them the ground in Noida, so I was training them there. And you won't believe we won everything in that whole year. That's the reason why we got test status. And then we had a talk with the Afghanistan players, because I always used to tell them that just don't play T20 because they're very good in T20. I said the main reason you have to play is test cricket, because test cricket teaches you how to play longer innings. And I'm really happy that they have come a long way, and you see the result now in the one day. I think the batsmen are really getting the work done, because they have the best spin bowling attack, I think, in this tournament.
Yeah, possibly.
The only need is that the batting, if they can click, if they can get 270, 280 runs, I think they will be a very difficult team to beat.
You know, Lalchand sir, I must tell you a little story. In 2001, after the collapse of the Taliban in Afghanistan, I was reporting from Kabul and I saw a lot of young cricketers playing in the nets or trying to play in the nets. And this was in the same stadium where the Taliban used to execute their prisoners. And from that situation to being in a situation now where there is a real craze for cricket in Afghanistan, it's a remarkable story of the achievement of a people who want to be associated with the sport, which is great that it's cricket.
I think cricket is a religion, just like in India, Afghanistan, they follow cricket and it is a religion. They are very passionate about it. And if you look at the players, I always used to interact with them, and they said, if they get pleasure, that's when they win and they play cricket. And I think they give that pleasure to the millions of people back home in Afghanistan, because they are passionate about this game.
And
Nabi, Rashid, they are all heroes there, It's just like, in India.
Absolutely. They are also very warmly received in India. Indian supporters, our crazy cricket fans, love them.
Yeah, I think, it's a good, I think, chemistry between the Indian and the Afghanistan people, because Afghanistan people are very helpful. They say Mehman Nawazi, because these people are really helpful. And when I was there, they really used to take care. They respect you. And they speak Hindi as well, because they see a lot of Indian movies. They know more than me, because they see every Indian movie and they'll give the dialects and all those things. So they are very much attached to India as well. And I'm really happy that in the World Cup played in India, they have beaten the top two teams, because one, the former champion, and now the Pakistan, because that's a big rivalry for them as well. Like, England, Australia, it's Afghanistan and Pakistan.
It's also true, though, that a lot of the cricket that many of these cricketers would have seen for the first time would have been in camps in Pakistan along the border, where they picked up the sport while playing in Pakistan, which they then took back to Afghanistan. Later on came across and played in India as well. So there is that very important Pakistan link where many of them would have seen cricket for the first time.
100%, yeah, because most of their cricket, they started in Pakistan, because they go in that border area. They used to play there, because they used to tell me the story that they used to run away from Afghanistan to get shelter in that Pakistan border, Islamabad or the border line. And they used to play cricket there. They used to play tennis ball cricket. They used to get that knowledge. And I think once they were done, then they used to come back and play for Afghanistan. It's a big story. I'm telling you, there are a lot of things which we have to learn from these Afghanistan players, because this is their livelihood and they don't shy away from, hard work. If you tell them that you have to have practice for 2 hours, they'll say, "Sir, why don't we practice for 4 hours?" So that is their passion about it, because they want to be known in the world of cricket that there is some team which can really grow. And I'm sure in the years to come, this team will be a very, very formidable team.
We'll talk about their talent, but let's talk about their biggest superstar, who is, of course, Rashid Khan. When is the first time you saw him, and what were your thoughts at that stage?
See, when I picked him, because we were playing against Zimbabwe only, and he was under 19, I picked him straight from under 19 and brought him to Zimbabwe, and he really bowled well. And we beat Zimbabwe in their own home ground, so people could not read him. And then the Zimbabwe Cricket Board, I told them that we have to make sure that his name is done in the IPL. You won't believe, I went to BCCI to fill, they filled their form. I put them in the draft, and then I spoke to Gautam Gambhir first because he was KKR. Then he said, "No, coach, we have got Sunil Narayan, so we can't." Then I spoke to this fellow from Punjab Kings, their captain. He was there. I forget his name.
Right, sure. And what did he say?
I spoke to him.
Yeah.
I spoke to him, and he said, "Coach, I have got Akshar Patel, and there were two more spinners." And I said, "It will be difficult for me to make him play." And then I spoke to Lakshman. Lakshman was a Hyderabad, and I said Lakshman because Lakshman, I knew him very well. So I said, "I'm not saying that you pick him, but I think you call them for nets." So Lakshman immediately said, "No, no, if you're saying, then they must be good." So Nabi and Rashid, I put them, and Lakshman picked him, and then it's a history, because after that, he is now number one bowler in the world, I think, T20 bowler, because people still now, they find it very difficult to pick him. And now the new guy which has come in is Noor. He is also a Chinaman, just like Rashid, but he's a different type of bowler. And they produce lot of spinners, I'm telling you. That is the land of spinners.
No, but they produce fast bowlers as well. You know, and so there is talent all across. I think the concern for Afghanistan will be their batting talent going forward. But again, in that sense, in the last match, they've been showing fairly consistently now signs of a few players making that true international cut.
Yeah, because that was the only concern which I always raised with them, because if they want to be competitive, they have to have batting. And that batting has to be like Khadu's nature of Mumbai cricket. You know, I always keep on saying, don't get, if you get 40 or 50, don't be happy. Because they were only playing T20 earlier. So what they used to do, they used to get quick fire 40, 50 and throw their wicket away. But now they are realizing it. And the more they play, the better they become. I still feel that they should play more test cricket, because test cricket teaches them need to play longer innings and build their innings and how to adapt to the situation. And now in this World Cup, we are seeing that, because they are coming up, they are getting 270, 280s. Now the chase, I think fantastic chase it was. And I'm sure in this World Cup, they will make more upsets in the matches to come.
How difficult was it for you in the early stages to get funding for the Afghan cricket team?
It was very difficult, and I think I must thank the BCCI, because Anurag Thakur was the president. He was the one who called me, and they really gave them the ground, the facilities, and they really provided those aspects that they can play more matches, friendly matches. And I think that's all started from there. And I'm sure they are indebted to BCCI, because BCCI has always been helping them a lot.
Has anything changed since the political changes in Afghanistan with the Taliban back in power? Has that in any way affected the game, the sport?
Not really, because in fact, they are really supporting, because I've been in touch with the players. They said, "Sir, this time I think we are getting more support," because they don't want to get into the sporting matter. They said sports is one thing with independently, whatever help they require, they give them. And I think they are very, very, helpful in those aspects as well. That's the reason why they are getting, playing more matches now. They are playing in Dubai. They don't have a home ground, but they still play in Dubai, Abu Dhabi, and then India and other parts of the world as well.
One final question, sir, and it's not about Afghanistan cricket, but it's been a sad couple of days for Indian cricket. We've lost one of our greats, Bishan Bedi. I mean, not just a great personality off the ground, but one of the finest left-arm spinners, possibly the best of them in the history of the sport. What are some of your memories of Bishan Bedi?
I think he's a legend. Let's be very honest, because when I was a youngster, he was a manager, and we were playing in Jaipur. Remember when Azharuddin got 100 in the board president 11 versus England, and he was a taskmaster. He used to always tell us that, if you want to succeed, you got to work hard and train hard. The more you train, the better you become and the luckier you become. And as a legend, I think we used to always look, and what a bowler he was. Even in his finishing days, I still played for Mumbai when he was finishing, but still he used to have that art of getting the batsman out of the crease and flighting the ball and spinning and making, I think, one of the best left-arm spinners we have ever seen. It's a sad day for us. My condolences to his family, and may his soul rest in peace.
Absolutely. Thank you, sir. Wonderful speaking to you. Thank you very much indeed.
Thank you. Thanks a lot.